Okay, now we're recording again. Okay, so Lane, go ahead and tell us a positive about your team or your business or whatever, and then a negative so we can help you.
Okay. A positive is I have two incredibly solid lead legs. This month they'll probably end up senior lead. They run their own businesses. I don't have to babysit them at all, which is amazing. I can just on them and they can go and they come really just support each other more than anything. So that's a huge blessing to have solid leads. A negative right now, I can't find anywhere to do one-on-ones, so I can't break into my local market at all. No one here will let me do nails at all, and it's frustrating. So my PRV is about horrible this month because I was really thinking that I'd do all these one-on-ones and that would be October, and now none of that is working out. So now I'm scrambling.
Okay, so have you, do you have a coffee shop anywhere near you?
Yes, and they won't let me do nails.
And what?
They won't let me do nails because they serve food and drink. Food and drink.
Okay. Is there another coffee, like, do you guys have like a Starbucks or anything?
We have one Starbucks.
Okay.
One. And the only problem with that is, I'm going to go back tomorrow to work, but it's going to be hard. I'm trying to pull people from like 4 different counties. And, I was hoping to try to find libraries in the county that would let me do this in the cities. And somebody from the libraries will talk to me to even meet there.
Okay. Okay, so basically what we need to do is we need a powwow of some ideas, one-on-ones. Powwow ideas of locations.
So not do one-on-one house?
Yeah, I threw color cure out the window. I was like, I'm not even going to do color cure right now because there is an odor in some places you can't do it. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just focus on wraps because it's quiet and there's nothing there. But every cafe, every little place that is just like, no, because they serve food, which I get.
So here in Australia, we actually do our one-on-ones at the customer's house. So I would drive to her house and do the one-on-one with her and then leave. Is that not something that you guys do there?
Option for me because a lot of the people that I've already put on a lot of these yard sale sites, and a lot of these lists are in areas that I cannot go to by myself. They're not safe.
Oh, I invite them to my house because it suits me a bit more. Yeah. And if they have kids, I'm happy for them to bring them, and they can like play or whatever, and it keeps my little boy.
Yeah, I don't.
While I do their nails, so.
I'm 20 minutes from one town, and I'm an hour from some of these other people.
Okay. So how about this? Have you ever created a party in a bag?
Yes.
Okay. So the party in a bag concept where you have the heater and you have the samples and everything, right?
Right.
Okay. So what about mailing that to them? I mean, it's kind of a pain in the tuchus, but you can mail it to them, and you could set up something like this, or you could FaceTime with them so that you could physically walk through it step by step on your end. That's what I did I have some friends that live in Nashville, and obviously being in Oregon, I'm too far away from there to be able to, go and do a party or go over to their house. And so I literally walked them through step by step from a FaceTime.
Okay.
So
that might work.
So something you're probably going to need to start thinking about is just some outside of the box ideas. I mean, it's not going to be completely convenient, but what you're saying is it's not completely convenient for you to drive there either because it's an hour away.
Right.
So it might be something that works. You know what I mean? Or
Right. Yeah.
or start making a list of different non-food related areas in your neighborhood. I mean, you know, in your town or whatever that you could have people meet at. So maybe start making a list, just trying to think outside the box of, you know, it could be a pottery painting place, or, you know, like during their off hours or something.
Mhm.
Are we talking about one-on-ones?
Yes.
And like where to do them?
Yes.
Mhm.
So I take it you guys aren't allowed to use like coffee shops in your area? I'm sorry, I'm just catching up. I just got home. See, just a crazy workout person.
Yeah, no, I have found food will not know that that's secure.
I didn't catch any of that. It was all breaking up.
Sorry. If it's someplace that serves food or drink, they're not letting me come in because it's a.
Oh, interesting. Okay. What about getting in with like, do you guys have apartment complexes there with like rec rooms where people can use it? Maybe you could get in good with like an apartment complex manager and use their like party room, you know, in exchange for giving them some jams or something.
Right. That might work.
And then you could have like
work.
a consistent place where maybe if one of your hostesses doesn't want to have a party at her house, you aren't able to do it at yours, and you have another third location that's available and neutral that you can offer to people.
Yeah, that might, I mean, there's enough hotels around, and, you know, and I'm going to check hotels and apartment complexes. There's enough around that maybe somebody has something, some little corner somewhere for me.
Yeah. All you need is one outlet.
Right.
One outlet, one electrical cord, because, you know, electrical cords make it so you can have like 10 people hooked up to it.
True story.
Well, and that's my thought was, since this seems to be so problematic to find a place, I would literally do 6 or 7 one-on-ones, either back to back or at the same time, and do like little mini parties, and then everyone could feed off of the excitement from everyone else. But I'm still having the trouble of finding a place to do that.
Okay, so did you write down some of these ideas that we gave you?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yes. So basically, I mean, it's one of those things, that's what I love about like us getting together to talk like this is, you know, we can come up with ideas that you might not have thought about, you know?
Right.
So, yay. Okay, anything else from you, Lane?
No, I'm good. I'm excited now.
Yay! Okay, good. And you're going to have to keep us posted and let us know how that goes.
Will do.
Okay. Selena, you want to go?
Yeah, sure. So a positive with, I guess, my business and my team right now is that we're working really well as a team together. I think finally our leadership team know exactly what to do and where to do it. For the first time in probably 6 months, we're feeling pretty, I guess, like a top group. Would you agree, Tamara?
Yeah.
Okay. On a negative note, we are really struggling with bookings down here. So our DQV is half of what it should be, which obviously affects all of us re-ranking. And we've done a lot of booking blitzes with, you know, teams that have done them very successfully. And our girls just don't seem to really want to participate or book, from what we can tell. Which I don't really get. It is frustrating, yeah. And it's not just my TM team or Tamara's TM team. It's team-wide for us. It's also an Australian-wide issue. So other teams are experiencing the same drop in DQB.
That's pretty common. You guys have been going now for a while. And I can tell you, I'm sure Mel can attest to this too. Like I think we all hit that slump after a while. It's Where's that? Have you guys seen that image of the guy like trying to hike up the mountain, and it's like the dips and then the ups and then the dips and then the ups?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same way. Like we've gone through many of those, and it always turns back around.
And it always sucks while you're going through the dip.
Oh my gosh!
So
Yeah, I'm talking to Alicia and Selena and a few other ladies. I think Lainey and Tamara, right? Did I get everybody? My husband was asking who I was talking to. They're waving at you.
So for 2 years, we've seen either the same or growth. It hasn't declined. So I guess that's what has us a little bit worried. So for the last 2 months, it's been in decline, which, yeah, that's I guess where I'm wondering what strategies we can implement, because obviously we're coming into our biggest months of the year. So last year, November, Jamboree had the most promotions in November than they had in a whole year. It was November last year. So we're heading into November now with an empty calendar. Everybody has empty calendars. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So what's a strategy that we can implement, I guess, is what I'm wondering. What works other than a booking?
So what I actually do during November and December personally over here is I load up my calendar with vendor events. So
Same.
So for me, I don't do a lot of personal bookings unless other people like seek me out to do them, if that makes any sense. Just because it's busy for us personally already. So that's why I just try to do just the vendor event.
Okay.
And my calendar is almost all vendor events right now too. Like that's kind of how it is. And I use it to front load my start of the year as well.
And that's
January.
Kind of how we get our parties going for the start of the year. So it's
and I hit blessing bags hard for PRE.
Yep. Blessing
Okay.
And blessing, if you have blessing bags, if you've got anyone that you can do those kind of fundraisers and such about, especially this time of year, blessing bags are really popular.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So do you think maybe like a blessing bag challenge, maybe? Like a
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Love it.
Should we do a team wide?
Oh, team-wide blessing bag.
Maybe a bit of it. I don't know if you guys are open to competition, but I know Tamara likes a bit of competition.
Yep.
Just a little.
So I don't know if you ladies saw it or not, but when I did blessing bags last year, and blessing bags are what actually earned me Punta Cana, I went to businesses, and it was a recommendation from Jen Benton, and I used to do pageants, and so I would get sponsors from people all the time, and the best way to do that is 1, in person, and 2, with a letter explaining what they're giving to, why they're giving to it, and what they get out of it. And so I actually created a little letter with a little receipt for them to show what they donated to, and made sure that it's said on there that it was through Jamboree that they were donating, and would just go and ask people to sponsor. And most of the time they would say, oh, well, what are other businesses doing? And I would say, oh, they're doing either 2 or 4 bags. And I would get 2 or 4 bags sponsored at a time. And so I think I uploaded that letter into our team page. It's under the files. I know it's in the leaders page as well.
It is on the leaders page, because I've stolen that letter, and that is my weekend plan. I've made it my own. This is Lane talking, by the way, in case you can't tell, since I'm just on my phone. But yeah, I found that letter, and I was like, you know what? I need this right now. And so I've tweaked it for some place that a shelf to work with. And so I've got a card reader on its way, and planning on papering the entire town this weekend with that letter. So I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I needed, because I've tried before just going face-to-face, and even though they knew me without, I don't think they took it seriously.
Yeah. Well, and
I'm hoping to go back with the letter and say, look, I'm listening.
And when you go in, you want to ask for the manager or the owner You don't really want to waste your time talking to anybody else. If they're not available, then you leave the form, the letter with them and hope that they get it. And then you can always like call back if you don't hear from them, just to follow up with them. And then make sure you do thank you cards as well, or notes after it's all said and done. So I usually will pick up a business card from them so that I know who it is, and I'll write on the back of it how many they sponsored and then send them a thank you.
Oh,
So how
good call.
teams to like this? Like that's like.
Well, I'm setting mine up for the Salvation Army and St. Vincent de Paul because they're in Gympie. So I'm doing 50 for one and 50 for the other. So maybe because they're probably an Australian-wide thing, Vinnie's is everywhere, isn't it?
Yes.
And Salvation Army is, yeah. So
So
I don't know,
last
maybe.
year when I had blessing bags, nobody would actually take my blessing bags.
What?
Oh, really? I've emailed both Salvation Army and Vinnie's, and they're both happy to do it.
Right. So I went to domestic violence shelters and they refused to take them.
Yeah.
So I still have no
Wow.
The domestic violence shelter here took them, but they did say that they get inundated with like shampoos and conditioners and all that from all the hotels. So it was other stuff. So I did it for Easter, so I put like Easter eggs and things that they don't get normally. So with this year for Christmas, I'm going to do family. So Nourish for Mum, like pretzels, puddings, that sort of stuff that they wouldn't normally get. And then they'll go out with their hampers, I suppose, when they do their Christmas hampers with the Salvation Army. So I know they're always here. And I've already gone ahead from them. So, yeah.
So, Alicia, do you want to make it a team-wide challenge, or do you want each of us to do our own team challenge?
I would like to let's talk about that on that thread so that we can make sure with Katie and everybody else that's not on here, make sure that they want to do that too.
Fantastic.
So, I mean, I would say yes, but I don't want to speak for everybody just in case they're like, no, I don't want to do it,
I doubt they'll say no.
Right.
But you never know.
True.
Stranger things have happened.
I might still have a purse that I can raffle off too.
I've got
Like Selena's one or like my purple one?
Nope. Selena's one is literally there's
Like
no
a unicorn.
Yeah, it's a unicorn. So Selena got my only other unicorn.
Are you talking about this one or the purple or the gray?
It's a purple.
Gray.
I think
Cool.
it's
I
either
have those ones too.
Let me look. Let me look in my closet. Guys, we have like Halloween costumes have blown up in here as well.
Love it.
I think it's purple because here, let me turn you guys around.
Yeah, 'cause I think you gave the gray one away.
I think
already.
I should give the gray one away. Ugh. Does it say on the outside of it? Oh, it's gray. It's gray. It's another gray one. Oh. So yeah, I have a big purple Jamberry purse that I can totally do to the winner. Look at my Australian flag! Woo!
Wow.
Go get you.
Come here, honey. Come here. Come
Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna write that on this thread when we're done. I've got my notepad going next to me, you guys, so I'm over here like writing as you guys are talking. Okay, Melissa, you are up next. Tell us the
What are we doing? I'm a little late. I missed what we're doing.
Okay, you're gonna do positive about your business and your team, and you're gonna tell us a negative.
So a positive is I have a few girls that have kind of relaunched. One big thanks to Alicia, back behind the scenes. So thank you for that. And I've got a few that are going pretty strong, but we're struggling with team building. And I want to say that all of these changes that have happened in the last month or two have put people kind of on this like edge where they're not really sure what they're doing, and so they're afraid to share it with others. And I think that's where we're coming from. I think some of them are not really sure where they stand with their business. So it's been tough for me. I've got like 5 strong girls on my team right now that are kind of carrying the team, but it's for the rest. And I don't know if they're not seeing things, if they're just losing their interest. I've reached out to them.
Amber says that she agrees with you. Okay, so one thing I did I guess it's been a while. One thing I did, you might remember this, Mel, I did a team survey. Just that's a good time to go in and create one of those Google Doc surveys.
I love them.
Yeah, so then it creates a spreadsheet for you. And basically what you can do is you can kind of get an idea of how others are feeling, kind of feel it out, like ask some open-ended questions so that they have to give you a good answer.
The meat.
You know what I mean? Make sure you're putting on there, asking them what are some areas that you are struggling with? What are some areas that you feel our team needs improvement? Put whatever on there that you can stomach to, you know what I mean? Because you never know what you're going to get. So just make sure.
Especially with some of my girls.
But you know what I mean? Just make sure whatever you put on there, you do want the answer to.
Still have the one that you did so that we can check out the questions?
Yes. Sorry, I'm trying to read Amber's thing to us too. It says, I've talked to my ladies and a lot of the worry is uncertainty. No, that's very true. I mean, there is, and I had this talk with one of our girls. I won't say her name. She's not on this call right now, but we were talking about the uncertainty. That's where a lot of people are feeling nervous because home office does have the different phases that are coming out, but it makes people nervous not knowing what is coming. I know from my end, from all the meetings that I've been in, like I went through, Melissa, remember when I had to jump off the plane and get to a meeting? It was about the new career plan changes. It was about all of that, planning what we were going to be doing and the decreases to certain PRVs and needed and those sorts of things. And so I know that personally, like, I'm not scared of the changes because I know the intent behind them, and I know I don't know, I'm not too worried, if that makes any sense.
But we also come from a different perspective. I think part of it too is once you've been to a couple of conferences, once you've been here for a significant amount of time, you start to see the vision of the company as a whole and not just what your business is. And I think that's where some of these girls are falling short because they're not to the point where they're putting themselves out there to attend conferences and meetings and such. And so I think that has a big part to do with seeing the whole vision when you see everything together like that.
No, I totally agree.
Yes, I'm doing an area meeting next month on the 11th.
Amber said, hold on, guys, let's read Amber since she can't chime in. She says, are things going to change again? Fast Start has changed how many times now? And these are things I don't have answers to, just one example. So the Fast Starts changed back when we had change of hands from Jamberry, going from Jamberry being its own entity to having backers. Does that make sense? Like business backers. And so that was one of the changes that had to be made. apparently I just hit my step goal for moving my hands forward. I'm like, what is vibrating on me? Scared me. Gosh, and I'm not even Italian. So my husband's half Italian, and so we laugh that the kids really got the Italian in them because like Ava really talks with her hands. So she says, I don't think most of my ladies are scared as much as they don't know how to work and share a business that is always changing. Okay, well, one thing, businesses change all the time. And a lot of it for us, like on the customer end of it, we don't see it necessarily, but because we are actually in the business portion of it, we do see it. I think it's all going to come from a personal, you know, how you're feeling about it. Like if you're worried about it, your team is going to start feeling worried about it. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know how my brain's not working.
Well, the way I look at it is, I mean, change scares people anyway, but I just go, this is a great time because the world is it's opening up. It's so much change, so much new stuff is coming. You never know what's going to be next. And I look at that as a great thing for our future because it might help us. It's hard when we've all been hit with this much all at once. In the last 2 months or so, we've been hit with a lot. And for newer girls, they don't remember what it was like even a year ago. They don't know. They weren't here. So they weren't used to the whole deactivations and the real roll-offs and all of that stuff. And so I think it became real for a lot of girls really fast that they have to work this business all of a sudden. And that's scared them.
Well, and I think there's a lot of kidnappers that came on and weren't interested in doing a legit business, and those are the ones that we're seeing having the lashing out and pushback because they see it as I'm just being honest, like people have been super nasty about it, and it's like those are the people that were in it to get for themselves free stuff and just stockpiling.
And then selling.
Sorry.
Yeah, we had a lot of issues with that. I kind of laughed because when the whole changes happened, the only people that were like super negative about it were people that I'm like, I haven't seen their name pop up on our team page in like 2 years. You know what I mean? Like, silent, have not seen anything from them except for, you know, a minimum PRV so that they don't completely roll off throughout the year. And so, yeah, it's kind of funny that's, I know from my end, that's where most of the negativity comes from on the changes.
Right.
Those of us that actually want to work the business, I mean, there has been changes, I'm going to be honest, that I wasn't too thrilled with and I'm still kind of annoyed with, you know, like the hostess plan changes. I'm not too thrilled with that. I understand why. Yeah. But I wasn't too excited about it. I hate that it's a 5-day. You have only 5 days to claim the rewards because I have meet mom brain daily. I mean, you guys.
They can't do their own either.
Yes.
It's really, really hard. I had 2 parties that I lost rewards with because I couldn't decide on what I wanted. But lucky, I rang Danbury and they picked like they gave them 48 hours. So I just processed.
They will not do that again. They only do it once.
I know. They were so good, and I'm like, oh, thank you, because they were decent parties, but the host just would stuff up. So I'm like, no, not letting them go to waste. I sort of know what you want. I'm just going to order it. If that's not exactly what you want, then I'll sort it out later on. But I was very, very grateful for it.
And that's one of the reasons why now we're going to really need to put an emphasis on getting their wish list before their party. So, and I'm going to be honest, that's something that I need to personally work on myself. So it's holding myself accountable too, which kind of puts a little bit of work on us, but
I definitely think we really need to look at how we word booking parties. Obviously, in Oz, we pretty much model the way that we book parties off what Bar says, and it's extremely hard to lay out the benefits when, at the moment, we cannot figure out what hostess rewards are actual here.
Mm-hmm.
We're not sure if it's a percentage of sales or if it's a percentage of party points, and there's no clarification from head office.
It's party points, isn't it?
So if it's party points,
I think
there's no formula that they've, I guess, given us to figure that out. So
Yeah, I thought it was off our dollar sale. But
Isn't that the same thing? Is it different in Australia?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So if it is off the party sales and it's multiplied by the peg rate that we have, it is still less than what you guys have over there in the States. So you get $25 for a 200-point party, whereas we get, I think it's 20. So there's a lot of discrepancy. So I personally don't know how to put it out there in words because I can't explain it myself. Make sense, Alish?
Mm-hmm.
So
I just wrote myself a note, and so when we're done with this, I'm going to go ahead and send a text message off to some of my people at home office and see if I can get an answer on that.
We need an update on that. Like all of the leaders here don't really know how to address it.
Which, yeah, I mean that needs to be taken care of right away. So yeah.
Yeah,
so it sounds like maybe the booking issue for you ladies is that misunderstanding on the host rewards. Maybe present. So hostesses, I don't think they necessarily ever fully understood their rewards program to begin with. So I think if you keep it general and, you can earn discounts towards your purchase,
The way that we've been teaching right from the beginning was based on the chart. So if you get between 200 and 250, it's percentage. So it's 10% of the sales is what's written on the hostess chart. Yeah, but it's not the sales, it's the points. Because to
be honest, I never present to my hostesses, if you do this, you get X. I just say, you can get some free and discounted products. Let's see how much we can get for you. And then as the party goes on and the rewards chalk up in the dashboard, then I just do updates as it goes on.
Yep.
I don't know, if you keep it more general and simple, it might be easier.
Okay,
we could definitely try.
Do you guys see the message on the side? I don't know. Are you guys able to see the messages, or is it just me for the chat?
Yeah, you have to.
Okay. So Amber says, like right now, a few of my main girls are afraid to recruit because they don't want to share that this is our system, then say, oh wait, now it's this. Having a hard time conveying how it's been said to me too. But yes, like Lane said, so much so fast, and a lot of my girls just kind of put the brakes on until they see where this is going and how it turns out. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to get them to focus on the constants and work with that. You're doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do what they know and what worked and keep doing that part, but it's hard. It's different. It's definitely going to be a rebuilding, and some are going to fall off and not keep. And that pains me just a step back. I'm going to be honest. Cannot tell you how many times I've lost some pretty darn amazing people that I never, Melissa's sponsor, Marion's sponsor, like there's been people that
your battle buddy,
never envisioned leaving. And so it's hard, but one of the things we have to do as leaders is we can't take it personally, because it's nothing personal against us. It's just a part of the business. They lost their sight of the vision, and kind of as their leader, that's one of our areas that we need to point them back to, is we need to point them back to their vision and back to their why, and make some more goal setting with them. We've really got to work on this vision with them.
Yeah, a team vision. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we are running out of time again. We literally have less than 4 minutes. So, Amber, is there anything else since I'm, she's saying amen. Yay. Okay, good. I feel like what's being said by one of us. I don't know who.
And Alicia, I can see her messages.
Oh, can you? Okay, good. So I don't have to see here.
They're very brief. See, she's good. Thanks, ladies.
So funny. So I just want to thank you, ladies, because I mean, you guys are the heart of why I do this. I mean, I'm sure people are like, oh, it's because Alicia loves the jams. Yeah, I love the jams, but truly the reason I still stay in this business is because I love you guys. And I mean, Selena, how many times have we gotten a hug face to face now? Like a lot. We've gotten more than 2.
Yeah, a few.
I mean, we've got
at least 3.
Yeah, we've gotten to cuddle. We've gotten to feed each other awful food. I still have that really nasty Vegemite in my cupboard.
That stuff's a bomb. I ate it for breakfast.
Forever.
Which we need to plan out who's coming to Nashville. Obviously, hello.
Hi, Libby.
Hello. So, Mel, you're going to Nashville?
Yes, ma'am. And then I'm going to go. I'm pretty excited because it's an hour flight to Atlanta nonstop. And my mom's real dad lives 30 minutes outside of Atlanta. And I'm going to go meet him for the first time ever after conference.
Wow.
Yeah. Kind of crazy. Yeah. But I'm thinking of coming down to conference, I think, Tuesday, so that I can have Wednesday to just kind of hang out and see things. And then I'll fly down to Atlanta on Sunday. That's the plan so far. And I need a roomie.
The movies and
I'm looking at you.
Lord, are you looking at me?
Yes, ma'am. You're in my top right corner.
Yeah,
so I
With
think
lots of
right
lucky
now
charms.
we need to, I think if we start promoting Nashville, then we're going to get a lot more solid response from the team. So, yeah.
We need to post our video out again of all the fun that we had at our last conference. Oh, we have less than a minute. I love you, girls. And we will talk super soon, okay? So we'll plan out, we're going to do this monthly. Maybe twice a month if that works, but for sure at least once a month, okay?
Sounds good.
Love you, girls.
Works for me.
Bye.
Thank you.
Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.